Welcome to The Explainer. Let's just jump right in. Today, we're breaking down Ramit Sethi's absolutely no BS, guilt-free roadmap to personal finance. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by money management, traditional budgeting, or just the sheer number of financial decisions you have to make every single day, you are in the perfect place. We're going to explore how to totally ditch the idea that personal finance is about strict willpower and instead rely on highly automated systems that do all the heavy lifting for you. Here's how we're going to tackle this today. First, we'll define your rich life. Second, we'll build a conscious spending plan. Third, we'll automate your financial system. And finally, we'll get into investing without the BS.
Okay, so I want to kick things off with a question that completely flips the script on how we usually talk about money. Forget the restrictive math and the penny pinching for a second. What is your rich life? So often, we just automatically associate money with deprivation, right? We immediately think about what we can't buy. But the source material flips this entirely, asking you to actually design a lifestyle you love. Is your rich life traveling 2 months a year? Is it buying an incredible cashmere coat? Or maybe it's literally just being able to pick up your kids from school every afternoon. Whatever it is, money is just the tool to get you there.
Section 1, defining your rich life.
Now, before we even touch credit cards or index funds, we really have to get into the emotional side of money. Because look, just knowing what to do isn't going to cut it if your money psychology is out of whack. Think about it. Every single day, you're hit with like 50+ money decisions. Should I save more? Pay off that debt? Can I afford this latte? Wait, do I need to rebalance my portfolio? It's exhausting. As Barry Schwartz points out, having all these choices doesn't actually make us freer. It literally paralyzes us. When we're overwhelmed, what do? We do nothing. And that's exactly why relying on pure willpower to manage your money is just a losing game. So, to actually fix things, we've got to face what Dr. Brad Klontz calls invisible money scripts. These are those deep, unconscious beliefs about money you picked up as a kid. You know, things like hearing your parents say, "We can't afford that," or maybe investing is only for rich people. Well, guess what? Those exact scripts are driving your financial behavior today, and they're probably totally clashing with what you actually want. We have to tear down these old childhood barriers if we're going to move forward with a clear head.
To figure out what actually brings you joy, you've got to check out the 10 money dials. These are basically the main categories where people love to spend their extra cash, stuff like convenience, luxury, or travel. The trick here? Notice which one of these instantly gets you pumped. Pick the one, maybe two, that you absolutely care about, and here's the crazy part, spend extravagantly on them. Go all out. But the catch is you have to cut mercilessly on the stuff you just don't care about. Moving right along to Section 2, the conscious spending plan. It is time to throw out that awful, guilt-ridden idea of traditional budgeting. Traditional budgeting is basically a punishment, right? It constantly reminds you of what you can't do, making you feel guilty over every single dollar. A conscious spending plan is the total opposite. It's all about intentionality. It focuses on what you actually want to do. The problem isn't buying a $5 coffee. The real problem is just mindlessly bleeding cash on things you don't even like, while totally neglecting your actual financial goals. This plan is seriously so simple. You just split your take-home pay into 4 buckets. You've got 50 to 60% for your fixed costs, rent, utilities, the basics, then 10% for long-term investments, and 5 to 10% for savings goals. That leaves you with a massive 20 to 35% for guilt-free spending. By giving every single dollar a job before it even hits your checking account, you totally eliminate decision fatigue. You know your future is funded, which means you can take that 35% and spend it on whatever you want, absolutely zero guilt.
And here's how this plays out in the real world. The ultimate guilt-free spending move, maximizing your rewards. Ramit actually spent weeks nerding out on his spending to build this ultimate playbook for travel rewards. We're talking thousands in cash back and literally millions of reward points. His new life motto became MBWOSIS, my body will only sleep in sweets. It's hilarious, but it perfectly shows how using the right credit cards for the right things, like travel cards for dining, cash back for everyday stuff, can completely fund an incredibly luxurious lifestyle without ever busting your conscious spending plan. But hey, to really maximize your money, you've got to stop leaking it first, and we're going to put you on the offensive against big banks. The source material actually gives you exact word-for-word scripts to crush bank fees and slash your interest rates. You literally just call the number on the back of your card and say, "Hi, I'd like to confirm I'm not paying any fees." If they hit you with an annual fee, push back. Tell them if they can't waive it, you'll just have to cancel. It's honestly mind-blowing how often these giant banks will just cave and waive the fee to keep you around. All right, Section 3, automating your financial system. So now we take all these rules and build an absolute machine that routes your money right where it needs to go while you do literally nothing. Here is the 6-week roadmap to fix your whole financial foundation. Week 1, you optimize your credit cards. Week 2, you beat the banks by opening no-fee, high-yield accounts. Weeks 3 and 4, you're setting up those investment accounts and locking in that conscious spending plan. Week 5, you link it all together with automation. And week 6, you pick your investments. Boom, a fully functioning wealth pipeline in a month and a half.
I absolutely love this next concept because it is the ultimate cure for analysis paralysis. It's called the 85% solution. Look, getting your money system 85% right today is vastly superior to doing nothing because you're holding out for some perfect plan tomorrow. You don't need a PhD in economics or to understand every geopolitical risk out there. You just need to start. Having a bias for action is the real secret to building long-term wealth. Now, when it comes to where that automated money should actually land, you just follow the ladder of personal finance. Think of it as a strict order of operations. Step 1, always capture your employer's 401k match. That is literally free money on the table. Step 2, aggressively crush any high-interest debt, like credit cards. Step 3, max out your tax-advantaged accounts, like a Roth IRA. Every rung on this ladder builds on the last one, making sure your money is working as hard as humanly possible.
Finally, Section 4, investing without the BS.
Okay, we need to bust this myth right now that investing is only for Wall Street guys or the ultra-rich. Just think about this shocking number, $50,000. That is the massive lead a hypothetical investor named Smart Sally gained over Dumb Dan. And here's the kicker. Dan actually invested for 20 years longer than Sally did, but Sally still ended up ahead by 50 grand. How? Because she simply started 10 years earlier. That is the absolute magic of compound interest. Time in the market will always beat trying to time the market.
And honestly, it really is that simple. The source completely rejects all the hype. No hot stock tips, no crypto day trading, none of that. It's all about a beautifully boring, hands-off approach. You pick a low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500, you automate your money into it every single month, and then you just let it grow. It's actually a lesson in humility. Most professionals can't even beat the market, so you win by just owning the whole thing and letting the computer do the heavy lifting.
We also have to talk about the hidden fees that are literally draining your wealth. Low-cost index funds are incredibly cheap, usually under 0.20% because they just mirror the market. But actively managed funds, they'll charge you 0.60% or way more just to pay for their fancy skyscraper offices and fund managers. And guess what? Those managers fail to beat the market like 75% of the time. If you're buying expensive mutual funds or paying an advisor a percentage of your assets, you are basically just funding their retirement, not yours. Keep those fees low.
Of course, to keep this whole automated machine running, you need cash flow. You can only cut so many expenses, but there is literally no limit to how much you can earn. So we've got another exact script for you, giving you the psychological upper hand to confidently negotiate a higher salary. When your boss pushes back on a raise, you reframe the whole conversation. You say, I view this as an investment. If you hire someone at X who doubles the return, imagine hiring me at Y and tripling it. Just one 5-minute conversation like that can permanently boost your baseline income for the rest of your life. So we're going to wrap up this explainer by leaving you with one really provocative question. As we've seen, the math can be totally automated, the ridiculous bank fees can be eliminated, and the guilt can be completely erased. Money is just a tool. True wealth is about intentional design. So, knowing all of this, what is the very first step you're going to take today to design your rich life? Are you going to make that 5-minute phone call to waive a fee? Are you going to set up just one automatic transfer? The choice is entirely yours, but the time to start is right now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.